Before moving to Hamilton, Ontario, make sure you watch this video as we're going to be diving in deep into everything you need to know about living on Hamilton's mountain to best determine if it's right for you and your family. As here, you're going to find some of the best real estate to choose from those wartime bungalow homes, perfect for any young professionals, to backsplits like this one behind me we're going to be touring in just a moment, short walks away from many great schools, to large two-story homes, perfect for expanding families. But no matter where you're living on the mountain, you're going to be just a short walk away from many different stunning waterfalls, great shopping options, including the best cheese pizza in the world. My personal favorite spot to grab a slice of pizza has just won at the International Pizza Expo in Las Vegas. So we're going to be covering all that and more. So let's go take a look at what it's like living on the Hamilton Mountain. So the Hamilton Mountain is located on the south side of Hamilton on top of the Niagara Escarpment, and that's where it gets its name, and also the reason why Hamilton is the waterfall capital of the world. So if you're new here and want to learn everything about what it's like living in Hamilton and these surrounding cities, make sure to hit the subscribe button. My name is Matthew, the founding realtor of this channel and the Living in Hamilton team, and we've been helping people just like yourselves relocate here. So if you're thinking about making the move, whether it's in 60 days or in 6 months, send us a message today. But first, let's talk about the shopping options. So we're standing at Lime Ridge Mall, the #1 shopping mall on the Hamilton Mountain, with more than 200 different stores to explore. But then you'll also find a variety of plazas throughout the mountain. Now on the north end of the mountain, they're gonna be a bit smaller plazas and a lot more local businesses. On the south end, you're gonna find some bigger shopping plazas. But most notably, the majority of shopping options will also be on Upper James, as you have everything from a Mandarin to the Brick to a variety of other shopping centers, as well as a Good Life. Then if you're living on the Hamilton Mountain, you have the east side and the Stony Creek Mountain plazas, but also on the west side, you'll have the Ancaster plazas to choose from. And then just a short drive down the Hamilton Mountain, you'll find downtown Hamilton that has a bunch of more local businesses, a farmer's market, and a bunch of craft breweries for you to go and explore. So as you can see, no matter where you're living, you're gonna find a great amount of shopping options to choose from. And right beside the Niagara Escarpment, you'll find some amazing parks and waterfalls. So we're currently standing at the Mohawk Fort Ice Center, which has 4 NHL-sized ice rinks, but as well as a part of a bigger park that has ample amount of baseball diamonds and soccer fields to choose from, even a cricket pitch. But then just across the street from this park here, you have King Forest Park that has 2 of the more notable waterfalls you need to check out when living in Hamilton: Buttermilk Falls and Albion Falls. That will be going on in just a second. So let's cross the street and go take a look. Alrighty guys, so here we are on the main trail system in King Forest Park on our way to Buttermilk Falls, which we'll stop in just a second. But also in this park here, you're connected to the Bruce Trail and the Escarpment Rail Trail, so you can truly hike to your heart's content. And then you'll also find 2 amazing golf courses close by. So I won't kill my cameraman and get a crazy shot. We'll just zoom over the edge and you can check out what you can expect at Buttermilk Falls. Alrighty guys, so now you've seen Buttermilk, let's go check out Albion Falls. It's got a way better lookout, but on the way there, let me mention a few parks you need to check out when living in the Hamilton Mountain. First would have to be the Sam Lawrence Park, which is a perfect spot to grab a local food on Concession Street and have a picnic. You also have TB McQueenston Park right in the smack dab middle of the Hamilton Mountain, with a bunch of activities for your kids to do, to Iroquois Heights Conservation Area that has even more waterfalls like these ones here. So we're almost at the lookout. Let's go take a look at what you can see. Alrighty guys, so take a look at this waterfall and you can clearly see why it's one of my favorite waterfalls and favorite lookout points to go check out. So no matter where you're gonna be living in the Hamilton Mountain, you're gonna have a bunch of different parks to choose from. But you're also gonna have a variety of schools to choose from as well, which brings me on to the next section. As in total, you're gonna find 42 different elementary schools throughout the Hamilton Mountain, both public and Catholic, all with various degrees of ranking on the Fraser Institute School Performance. The one behind me here, we have the Mountain View Public Elementary School, and has been on the top of this list for multiple years. So no matter where you're gonna be living, you're gonna have some great schooling options close by, but you're also gonna find a variety of high schools, as there's 8 in the Hamilton Mountain as well, offering you both those English, French, and gifted streams. And then if you're looking for that private school to get your kids that extra leg up, you can easily find it at the Hillfield Stratford Strathallan College that offers great programs for any kids. Then the most notable school on the Hamilton Mountain has to be Mohawk College, that has been the #1 college in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area for the last 8 years and has amazing student satisfaction. So as you can see, there's amazing schools throughout the Hamilton Mountain area. So now that you know the different schools, let's go take a look at the real estate. Let's talk about the real estate options you're going to be finding most often, and that is going to be detached homes, as detached homes made 79% of the real estate sales in the last 12 months, and they're mainly at 2 different price points. The first one is really going to be between that $500,000 and $750,000 here. The majority of these will be north of the Lincoln Alexander Parkway and are typically those smaller detached homes that are 1.5 story bungalows, back splits, and side splits, really built from the 1950s to the 1980s, offering 2 to 3 beds and 1 to 3 bathrooms, typically with no attached garage, but a previous owner could have easily built a detached garage sometime since it's been built. Then the second range of homes you're going to be finding within the Hamilton Mountain is anything really selling between that $750,000 and $1 million. Now, this is where the other half of detached homes are really selling, and these are going to be some of the larger detached homes on the Hamilton Mountain. Usually are going to be those back splits and side splits, as well as a bunch of those larger 2-story homes, usually offering 3 beds and 2 to 4 bathrooms. So we're going to be exploring a beautiful side split in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. And then as for townhomes, this made up 18% of the real estate sales, typically selling anywhere from $500,000 to $850,000. Now, 2/3 of the townhomes on the Hamilton Mountain will be condo townhomes, and therefore there will be a small maintenance fee, usually between $400 and $550 per month, to help clean up around the area. But then you'll also find some more expensive freehold townhomes as well to choose from. Now, when you're looking for townhomes, they're really going to be lining the Lincoln Alexander Parkway, but you will find a few smaller, newer pockets built in different neighborhoods. Right now, we're in one of my favorite developments in the Mountain View neighborhood with the homes behind me here. And then as for condos, this made up 3% of the real estate sales in the past 12 months, typically selling between $500,000 and $700,000, usually offering 1 to 2 beds and 1 to 2 bathrooms. Now, the majority of the condos here are really going to be on Mohawk and Fennel Road. However, in the coming years, we're seeing a lot more projects come about. So if you want to learn more about the detached homes, townhomes, or condos on the Hamilton Mountain, send me and my team a message today. Otherwise, let's jump on the computer and give you the lay of the land of everything you need to know about Hamilton's Mountains map. Alrighty guys, so here we are, and as you can see, the Hamilton Mountain is definitely on the south side of Hamilton, and it is perched up on top of the Niagara Escarpment. Now, you don't really see it here in this 2D map, but that right here is the Hamilton Mountain. Now, the Hamilton Mountain can be broken down into a bunch of different areas. You know, you got the north end over in this area here, kind of got the west end right in here, central and east end, and then you have the south end right here. But just a quick rule of thumb, as really the Hamilton Mountain kind of works in a gradient. The further north you go on the Hamilton Mountain, typically the homes are going to be a bit smaller and also a bit older, whereas the more south you go, that's to be where the newer homes are, as at the beginning, really in this north end here is where anything was really built, like 1920s all the way up to the 1950s and 60s, and then you kind of move forward throughout in the 70s, 80s, 90s, in early 2000s, and even up to some today, just south of Rimo Road right here. Now, when you're talking about the real estate prices, as another general rule of thumb, what you can expect to pay is usually more expensive on the west side of the Hamilton Mountain and a slightly bit more affordable on the east side of the Hamilton Mountain. Now, if we were to look at where you're going to find the majority of shopping options on the Hamilton Mountain, we flip this on here, you're going to notice pretty much no matter where you're going to be living on the Hamilton Mountain, you're going to have easy access to a lot of restaurants and shops to choose from. So obviously, more in the north end, when the neighborhoods are a bit older, you have a lot more smaller pocket plazas, meaning it's a bit more walkable. Definitely if you're living in the north end of the Hamilton Mountain right here. Like one of my favorite streets is Concession Street, which has some of my local favorite gems. I'll show you guys in just a moment. But the other shopping options, you're going to find Lambridge, kind of smack dab in the middle of the Hamilton Mountain right here, as well as a lot of shopping on Upper James Road right here as well. Then, depending on where you're living on the Hamilton Mountain, you're probably also going to gain a lot of access to the surrounding shopping options that are either offered in Stony Creek or Ancaster. So you have the Ancaster Smart Center, or Meadowlands Shopping Center, excuse me, right here. Has a Costco, has a Best Buy, has a variety of restaurants, and even a great dog park located in that plaza there. But then also on the east side, you're going to have lots of different shopping options, especially in the Stony Creek Mountain neighborhood. Here is going to have, again, just a Cineplex, but as well as a Lowe's, a Home Depot, a Best Buy, and a bunch more stops and restaurants for you to go take a look at. But if you want to know where my favorite local gems are on the Hamilton Mountain, this is where they are located. As you notice, it's actually pretty spread out. You do have a few great local gems right here, like Speedy Subs, Lady Glazed Donuts, unfortunately is no longer with us, but you do have the Dirty South here as well. Over in this area here, you're going to find Bring Your Own Dog Cafe, as well as a not great Canadian Tire, but a great fish truck, fish fries, and some amazing chips here. To Sweet Paradise over on the west end offers another great option to choose from. So if you want to learn my number one spot to grab pizza, though, we'll be checking that out in just a moment. But what you'll also want to know about being on the Hamilton Mountain is where are all those parks and community centers I mentioned. So first thing you notice right away is all of these blue waterfalls. Again, because Hamilton is the waterfall capital of the world, because of this escarpment, that's where the majority of waterfalls you're going to be finding. So on this map, I've tried to label the most prominent ones out west, as well as the ones that are out east. So this is Albion Falls and Buttermilk Falls that we visited shortly ago. But then, as you can see, just throughout the entirety of the Hamilton Mountain, you're going to have basically a neighborhood park in each one of the neighborhoods you choose to settle in. And then you will find a few community pools like the Inch Park Community Arena and Outdoor Pool. But you'll also find one over here in the Chidok Outdoor Pool. And then a few different ice rinks as well, like this one here in the Chidok Twin Pads Arena. Now, lots of great options to choose from in terms of parks. But then usually right beside those parks here is where you're going to be finding these schools. So as you can see, like the parks, pretty much every neighborhood is going to be absolutely accessible to elementary schools, both public and Catholic, but you're also going to find a nice variety of high schools located throughout. The high schools are definitely going to be more along the Lincoln Alexander Parkway. So if you're living in the north end, it's going to be a bit of a bus ride or drive for your kids to drop off. And then where you're going to find Mohawk College is right here on the northwest end of the Hamilton Mountain Ring, offering all of its great programs as well. So if you want to get access to this map that includes everything from the local gems, the shopping, but as well as get access to all my exclusive videos going over what it's like living on the Hamilton Mountain and the surrounding areas of Hamilton, down below you can find a link to download your free copy of my Hamilton Homebuyers Starter Kit. Other than that, let's talk about the transit and exactly what you can expect when driving around. So if we untick all these here and just zoom out, the great part about living on the Hamilton Mountain is you have that great accessibility, one, to downtown Hamilton, the GO train stations, but as well as to both the 403 and the QEW. As if we look here, you have the Lincoln Alexander Parkway, which is basically the collector road. And the majority of time when you're jumping on the highway on the Hamilton Mountain, you're going to be jumping on this here. Now, during the rush hour, it can definitely get backed up, but the good news is if you're living definitely in the middle of the Hamilton Mountain or the north and south end, you're definitely going to have the option to pick and choose if you are driving to Toronto, what is the better route. As oftentimes at times, the Hamilton Skyway and this route here with the QEW can definitely be backed up, especially if there's construction or something happened on the bridge right here. But then you also have easy access to the 403, also heading out to Toronto, but you can also head out more westward to London or Brantford, Ontario, and then same for here, you jump on the QEW, of course, to go to Niagara as well. Then when you're really driving within the Hamilton Mountain, couple other key roads you want to know about. Rymel Road right here is basically the furthest south road on the Hamilton Mountain, and it does get backed up at times. Hopefully in the coming years they will expand it because of all the new development that's around there. We're definitely seeing some bottlenecks. However, there is also construction there at the moment. But then the other main roads that you're going to be driving on, of course, is just Upper James right here. Upper Gauge is another one that I often drive on often. And the reason why that is if we actually look and jump into the close to the Niagara Escarpment, what you're gonna notice is a bunch of different access points. So you have the Sherman access right here, you have the Jolly Cut right here, the Claremont access right here, the James Mountain Road right here. You have, of course, the Garth to Queen Street access as well, on top of just the highway accesses. So if you're looking to easily get down to downtown Hamilton with a car, or also just walking down, taking the stairs, it has an easy access there. But now that you know how it is to drive around the Hamilton Mountain, let's take a look at the walk score, the public transit score, as well as the bike score. So overall, Hamilton's Mountain on average was rated a 65 walk score compared to Hamilton's average of 50. Now, like I mentioned, it's definitely going to be more walkable on the north side of the Hamilton Mountain. However, each neighborhood, you're going to have great options to walk around on quiet streets for your morning stroll or afternoon break. But the south end is definitely going to be more car dependent, as that shopping and the public transit tends to be a bit more grouped together. Now, with that said, moving on to the public transit score, this was rated a 48 compared to Hamilton's average of 45. And the public transit here isn't going to be as great as Central Hamilton, but it's probably the second best for how large the area is and how many bus routes it covers and how well it's connected to all of Central Hamilton's public transit options, but as well as how easy access it gives you also to the two GO train station stops right now in Hamilton. And then as for the Mountains bike score, this was rated a 44 compared to the Hamilton average of 50. And the reason why that is there's not many great biking exclusive trails on the Hamilton Mountain. You will find some streets with bike lanes. However, if you're looking to bike to get to work, to get to downtown Hamilton or one of the GO train station stops, it is going to be a bit more difficult. Now, with that said, if you're looking to bike just on a quiet neighborhood street, there's going to be lots of great streets to choose from, including the next stop in this video, that beautiful side split. You could easily bike on this street here. So let's go check out that home. All right, guys. So here we are at this 4-level back split that offers 3+1 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms with a huge lot at 150 feet deep. So let's come on in and take a look at what you can expect at all the updated renovated finishings throughout this home. And when you guys open the door, it'll be opened up to your open concept living room and dining room that has been all recently redone, including a quartz countertop, a wood burning fireplace, and just an abundance amount of natural light pouring in each of the windows. Then up a couple of stairs, you'll find 3 main bedrooms for your family to call home, with a man cave or a amazing kids playroom down in the basement. But let's go take a look at your backyard oasis outside, as here is a perfect backyard for entertaining as well as putting your own personal touch on it. As right now you have a nice deck as well as ample green space going 150 feet back on this lot here to add a pool in or a secondary structure. So lots to love about this home. But let's go take a look at the second home we have to view today. All right, guys, here we are at the second home. This one is located on the eastern side of the Hamilton Mountain. And as you can see behind me, it is that more traditional 2-story home. Now it does offer 3 beds and 3 bathrooms, with 2 of the bedrooms being upstairs, 1 in the main floor, perfect for a main floor office, as well as a completely renovated kitchen and dining room, but as well as a complete finished basement. So now you've seen 2 different real estate options in the Hamilton Mountain. If you're looking for something similar, or maybe you're looking for that condo or townhome, send me and my team a message. But now let's go grab the best cheese slice in the entire world. Alrighty guys, so it's been a couple seconds for you guys, but it's been a few days for me. I tried to get Cowabunga the day we filmed everything else, but they were absolutely sold out, telling you how much people absolutely love it. So we got the margarita as well as a couple extra pies for later, but today we're gonna be trying out the margarita. So absolutely beautiful. And it's got some basil and some pesto, jalapeno pesto on top. So if you've ever watched any one of Dave Portnoy's One Bite, everybody knows the rules. Pizza review, this is exactly what pizza he's looking for. Zero flaw, absolutely fantastic. So now that you know the best pizza place in all of Hamilton, if you're looking for another great neighborhood to check out, the next video I'd recommend you go take a look at is my video covering everything you need to know before moving to Ancaster.